Hi, I am Multi-Topic Dog. Welcome to this new video about the Arrowverse. Today we cover my favorite season of the Arrow TV show, being season 5. I hope guys will enjoy my take on it. This is just my personal opinion. We will go over to many bullet points because that season was amazing. I hope guys will enjoy. Join our Discord in the description below for more updates on future video or if you just want to be part of our community. So let's do this. So season 5 is some kind of return to form to the Arrow TV show right after two atrocious seasons that were really hard to watch. Season 3 and 4 are truly awful. I don't know what people were smoking when they were making these two seasons, but at least now, season 5 we get a masterpiece. So it picks up a few months after season 4 event, just like any other season. The difference at that point is where every characters are. Oliver became the mayor, Tia left the battlefield, and she is some kind of assistant to Oliver on his mayor duty. We also get Diggle in the military, and here we really get a very interesting subplot about Diggle feeling guilty about killing his brother in season 4. And we also get some corrupt general that do dirty stuff, and he puts the blame on John Diggle, sending Diggle in jail. He is for trial for treason, betrayal, call it the way you want, and he's being framed. But because he feels guilty about his past action, he wants to die. But here's the catch. Oliver, as the best friend he is, he won't let his friend die. So Oliver breaks out Diggle from jail, and this was great. So this is just a subplot, but here we got other subplots. The flashbacks are all about Oliver past in the Bratva, Russia. He basically become a gangster, some kind of mafia, and here he trains as well with Talia Al Ghul, a daughter of Ra's al Ghul. So very interesting flashbacks. After watching season 3 and 4 flashbacks, I was worried about Russia flashback on my first watch, but then I realized, wow, they did good job. They thought about their stuff. They are smart. They did good job with season 5. They made the flashbacks good again, and they are probably as good as season 2 flashbacks. And in my own opinion, it's telling a lot about their quality. So here in the flashbacks on Russia, Oliver's true objective is to kill Kovar to keep his promise intact, a promise he did to a girl on the island in season 4. And this was good. This was good stuff. Now, present day, Team Arrow being alone for a while now decides to create a new Team Arrow after Quentin and Felicity both tell him, look, you need help, you need people around you, you need to train new recruits. And now we meet with Artemis, worst character ever. I truly hate her. She is one of the weakest part of the season. Then we get Ragman Rory, very interesting character with magic-based power, but it's not OP. It's just more defensive. I like that character. He was a very good character. He had his place in the team. We also got Dinah later on. She will become the new Black Canary, and I like it a lot. Very interesting character. I think this was the only good season for Dinah. I don't like what they did with her in season 6. I don't like what they did with her in season 7. And in season 8, we don't follow the same Dinah all the time. So that was the best season for Dinah. After that, she becomes a plot device at best, if she is anything. But in season 5, Dinah is a former police officer, detective that went undercover in many missions, and she changed. Now she is all about revenge for her dead boyfriend that was also undercover with her. So a lot of things happened. It was good. We had a really good show with Dinah around. So yeah, let's speak about Curtis becoming Mr. Terrific. I'm not a fan of Curtis. He is just Belle Felicity. He is useless. I'm not a fan of Curtis. We also get Wild Dog. Uh, Ronnie Ramirez, I'm not quite sure about his last name. But anyway, Wild Dog, very interesting character. He gives some younger Oliver vibes. You don't care about order, and this is funny because the actor himself was older than Stephen Amell. But on screen, you cannot really tell because the guy is shorter and the actor is good. So even if the guy is older, like probably in his 40s, you can buy it that the guy is probably mid 20s, the character at least. And that was fine. Wild Dog during that season was good. During season 6, I was not a fan of Wild Dog. No, no, no. During season 7, it was okay. During season 8, it was barely in it. So season 5 was a really strong season for Rene. And yeah, New Team Arrow was fine during that season. Brava Flashback were amazing. Now, we spoke about most of the characters' storyline. Tia as assistant fall into blackmailing a lot of people and she goes to the dark side until she resigned. We also get Suzanne, a great journalist that is also a love interest for Oliver. Sadly, they prefer Felicity over Susan, so they write Susan off the show. Regardless, we also get Billy, Felicity new boyfriend that is just a plot device. This is sad because the character had a lot of potential until he get killed off in the mid-season finale, and after he just become that plot device where Felicity turned into the dark side because Billy died. The whole storyline was fine. It was not bad, but it's very sad that they wasted Billy character. I find that really, really sad. We also got Pike is back. So even if Pike only had a few episodes, it was amazing. We also need to speak about Adrian Chase. Adrian Chase in the comic book, I believe. I'm not a reader, I just overheard that kind of stuff. In the comics, he is Vigilante. But here's the twist. That TV show decided to keep Vigilante secret identity for season 6. And Vigilante, some kind of anti-hero or villain, depends on how you take it, is the extreme version of Oliver. He is probably some kind of Punisher because he kills criminal. He likes it, and that Vigilante is really dark. And yeah, we have him as recurring character in present day as weekly villain. You see, he has been there a few episodes. We also get Prometheus as the big bad, one of the best villain the series ever had. Uh, we also get Tobias Church. Tobias Church is a new crime lord, if we can call it that way, and he is the first enemy to Oliver during that season, and he gets killed by Prometheus because Tobias Church wanted to kill Oliver, aka the Green Arrow, and Prometheus wants the Green Arrow for himself. So this was great. And Prometheus, even if he was not as amazing as Oliver as a fighter, he was still a threat, he was still a danger, and was still able to take out pretty much everyone outside of Oliver, which is a good thing because Oliver at that point has 10 years of training, while Prometheus only has 4 years because Prometheus decided to start training after Oliver killed his father during season 1, but that was off screen in season 1. So it's been told to us through flashbacks. Uh, yeah, Prometheus trained for 4 years, so it's a good thing he is not a better fighter than Oliver. But that doesn't mean he is not doing good, because on fights, like while they fight, Oliver and Prometheus, most of the time, Oliver is winning, but Prometheus finds a way, either with allies or with his brain, to escape the fight, or something happens and the fight ends. Only at the very end of the series, he's really stopped, but he is also a very intelligent opponent, and even in episode he is not here, he is a threat. And this is why he was great. This is why Prometheus was great. Great villain. You don't need to be the strongest. Be the smartest. Be the big brain out of everyone. So now, my issue with season 5 is Artemis. First introduced to us as a new recruit, she turns evil and she goes to Prometheus' side. I don't know if it's the actress, I don't know if it's the writing, I don't know if it's the idea, but there's something wrong about Artemis, in my own opinion. Of course, Oliver keeps secrets. He had a kill list. But now you turn evil because you don't like Oliver and you find him like hypocrite. That's no reason to root for the villain. Prometheus is clearly a villain. Prometheus is killing people. He's killing innocent people. Even killed his own wife. So tell me, Artemis. Tell me, why did you root for this guy? If you think Oliver is the villain and not Prometheus, then there's something wrong with you. Either it's the writing there, the character, or the actress. I'm not sold. I don't buy it when that teenager is acting tough, when that teenager is acting like, hey, I'm villain. I don't buy it. Artemis is bad. I don't like her. I just don't. Outside of that, amazing season. It is a masterpiece. We get one of the best season premiere and one of the best season finale. I cannot wait to rewatch this masterpiece. It's amazing. My only big issue is truly Artemis. When I looked back to that season, everything is good. Now, of course, Felicity turning bad could have been done a better way. But first of all, this is in characters. Second, this is the theme of season 5. This is also the theme of season 7. But now we focus more on season 5. Felicity turning bad. Okay, I get it. I buy it. People deal with loss a different way. And Arrow season 1 and 2 were a lot about PTSD, traumatic experience, damaged people, scars you have in your mind, not just your body. So this is in line with the theme. So overall, it is good. Prometheus, great. Malcolm is back for 2 or 3 episodes. I lost the count. It was great. Nissa was great in the 1.5 episode she's in, and Talia was fine. Anatoly back as supporting character. I like Anatoly a lot. He, he has a lot of charisma. I'm not a fan of him becoming bad in season 5 and 6, but that also makes sense. It's not out of place. The writing is on point. The writing is good. Even Anatoly in the flashback says, "Why don't you, Oliver? I don't know what I will be." And this makes sense because Oliver leaves. Anatoly is just becoming just like Kovar. He needs money. He will do anything he can to get money. So overall, only good memories about season 5. I think I spoke enough. I rate this season 9.7 out of 10 because nothing is perfect outside of Stargirl's second season and first season. But outside of that, 9.7 out of 10 for Arrow 5th season. So am I crazy? Just like all of the other overview I did over this channel, we will go over to the comment other people add. Am I crazy? Let's find this out. So, let's keep going here with the fabulous comment. Now, if you take a look to the audience score, it is a 65, and I find that really sad. Probably it's because people just pulled the plug after 2 terrible seasons. It's probably also maybe because some people will call the show woke, even if it's not. Um, this season may have representation, but this does not affect the quality of the writing or the show. Of course, Curtis' storyline was one of my least favorites, but it had such a small impact in a small space that I don't really care about that. So let's read my comment I just did. I always remembered season 5 as being the best season of the show. My most recent rewatch confirmed that statement. The only issue I had with that season was a weak uh, supporting villain, one that betrayed Team Arrow without any spoiler. Now, since I already gave away spoiler in this video, I speak about Artemis. I just don't. I just can't stand her. I don't like Artemis. Now the other thing is some episodes were also a bit weaker, but the overall season was amazing. I'm mainly speaking about Spectre of the Gun, and I believe episode number 19. It's like one episode after Oliver went back uh, getting help from Rafa, and I forgot why I was not a fan. Maybe I should pull up my notes. Regardless, it's like two or three episodes out of 23 that I was not a fan of. But even there were good episodes, and someone else can tell, oh, it's a great episode. I just didn't find them good. I should say they are not as good as the other episode, in my own opinion. That doesn't mean they're bad, they're just not as good. I had a hard time finding issues on probably 90% of the episode in the entire season. And as a side note, I gave 10 out of 10 on many episodes this season. And this is rare because if I give a 10 out of 10, it means I'm not able to find issues. Maybe if I dig deeper or maybe if I'm more critical, I would find issues. But when I need to try that hard, I just give a 10 out of 10. And I can tell you this, there were a few 10 out of 10, but most of the season was around the 9, 9.5, 9.7, and some episodes were 10 out of 10. And the weakest three episodes were roughly 8 or 7 out of 10, and probably 9 out of 10 as well. So you see, my take on that season, just amazing. Prometheus was my favorite villain in the Arrowverse. He's the one villain that destroyed Oliver and Green Arrow the most out of all villains. It's only after being captured and tortured by Prometheus that Oliver realized he enjoyed killing, and for a few episodes after that, Oliver just don't want to wear the Green Arrow suit anymore because he is that broken. And this is amazing. He may have a weaker, yeah, he may be a weaker fighter than Green Arrow, but his impact he had on Oliver was felt. He was still a threat able to put out a fight on a Green Arrow with 10 years of training. Outside of Oliver, nobody could compete on a fight with Prometheus. Talia, another supporting character, was interesting. The season was very dark, giving some season 1 vibes. The mayor storyline of Oliver was great. The flashbacks were the best since season 2 and among the best in the entire series. Black Siren coming back to the mix was great. Vigilante as recurring villain was amazing. The mystery about Prometheus and the reveal were both well done and amazing. The writing of the show was amazing. New Team Arrow was fine despite being a bit too big in my own opinion. There was no filler, which is impressive for a 23 episode format. Felicity and Diggle both have amazing storyline with Alex and coming back from army. Anatoly being back was great. Connecting the flashbacks to present day of Arrow first season was well done. Again, Tobias Church was a very good side villain. Billy and Pike were two very interesting police force members to interact with Green Arrow. Quentin and Tia storyline were great. The season premiere and the season finale were among the best episodes in the entire show. Even the weakest episode of the season were great. Season 5 was a masterpiece, changed my mind. 9.7 out of 10. Yes, almost a 10. So this is my comment. And let's read out other comments out there. Maybe I'm the only one that just don't like Artemis. We will see. We don't read critics. We know there are sold out people. This one, ooh, I won't read it. I don't know Spanish or Portuguese. Would have 5 stars if they didn't add a recruit that feel they don't have to prove anything. Earn only trust and Felicity turning her back on Oli when he gave his all to her, held her down when she was paralyzed, and the moment she is able to walk, she walks the door and doesn't even allow Oliver the opportunity to fight her. Smith, she grew on me when I didn't like her at first and became my biggest crush until she showed her true colors in Deception. Okay, about that comment, you only speak about Felicity and Oliver, so you're probably a shipper that don't care about the story or the show whatsoever. You only care about shipping. I don't like your comments, but that's my take on it. Maybe you truly watch the show for the show and not the shipping. Season 5 really helped redeem the show for many. Thought it was a bit slow in the beginning. This is false in my own opinion. This had a great pacing. Keep in mind it's 23 episodes. Keep in mind we had many story arcs and many villains. We had Prometheus, we had Vigilante, we had Tobias Church, and Prometheus appeared in the first episode. He was a slow build up, but this is fine. It's a 23 episode season. It soon picked up pace and became what I'd call a perfect comeback. Anytime everyone was angry with Barry for having changed the timeline, Oliver was the only one who trusted him. And while Oliver was the only one who didn't trust Kara, Barry gave him a reason to. This looked like the time when all the characters were able to resolve their difference and move forward with their lives. This is true. In season 6, this is no more the case, sadly. All through the amount of talking was too much, and there was still character development, which happened by keeping unnecessary secret. This is true. But this is CW after all. Secret is the best plot device, right? It all paid off in the end with the fight against Prometheus. The only way to describe this season would be that Oliver's past had begun haunting him, so he had to go back to his season 1 ways. And that's why this season is so nostalgic. The ending was absolutely intense, and it basically gave me a reason to like this show again. One of the greatest finale for a superhero TV show. I agree with that. Destroying Liu and letting people believe the cast died was amazing. The BBEG was over the top. There was some iffy storytelling and writing, but overall, it was still entertaining. You don't give enough detail, but that's fine. I mean, amazing, awesome villain. The finale was so good. While the season isn't perfect, with the addition of Prometheus managed to become the best season of the Arrow. The actor in the rivalry with Oliver makes this season incredible. I agreed with that. This season was a good comeback, but there's a few problems in this season because the new Team Arrow is not that good. They should have made Oliver Queen do. things by himself because it makes him a better hero and better story for the season. Now, I will respond to that with a lot of things. First of all shows works the same. The first few season, usually season one, two, sometimes three in some shows, the focus is on the main character, the main actor, and then they can change their contracts for later seasons, such as four, five, sometimes three in other shows. But as the season goes, the lead actor get less screen time, so he can enjoy his personal life better. And this is also a way to keep your actor on board. If you give him the same pay but less days to work, your actor will stay longer and you will be more happy, and the quality of your show will remain the same in most cases. So they needed side character because otherwise maybe they would fill space with air. I don't know. Maybe the episode, instead of being 40 minutes, they would end up 20 or 30. Now, I will also respond this. On the story itself, it was important for two things. The first one, Laurel asked Oliver to not be the last canary. So Oliver said, okay, I will recruit new people. And the second reason on the story itself, and it's being made clear in episode 1, 2, and 3, I believe, like very early in the season. Felicity, Tia, they all say you wanted to be mayor and change stuff as mayor, but you're going out much more as Green Arrow, and they made it clear it's because he had no teams. And this is true because when he had no teams, he would be out much more as Green Arrow on the field to stop stuff. But when he gets a team, Green Arrow can do more stuff and be there only when there's a big mission or when there's a big thing that happens. Then he is there. But you see, there are some threat Team Arrow resolved. And having a team does not remove away anything from Green Arrow. Is it Diggle that took out Prometheus? No. Is it Wild Dog that killed Vigilante or Prometheus? No. None of them. Oliver was the driving force, and yes, he don't need a team, but the stories want him to have a team so he can do other stuff. And more than this, as I mentioned, actors tend to do less work on later season, and it's a thing for every shows. Now you will realize when you watch many shows, not only CW, any shows, if the show are longer, the focus deviates from the main character. Watch Dexter, eight season, and later on season, the focus is more on his sister at some point. The side character get bigger roles, and this is normal. This is contract stuff. Now, I do think the Team Arrow was a bit too big, and I find Team Arrow from season 2 and 3 perfect. 3 is not perfect because of Laurel, but 2 season 2 size team was perfect in my own opinion. But here again, for contract issue, they need a team, and there's something Oliver cannot deal with alone. He may be really strong, he needs a team. And this makes it more realistic than for, say, season 1. Because, yes, of course, in season 1 he was a murderer, but sometimes he needed his team. Like, when he almost died in the episode 8 of season 1, without Diggle, Oliver would have died. Now, I think I spoke enough about the team and how important this is to have a team. Arrow is brilliant. I thought season 5 was kinda like a soft reboot with new heroes joining the fight. The big bad was good too. So you see, I am not crazy, and I do believe it's earned. It's earned. They really earned their their title of being my favorite season. That was an amazing season. I really liked it a lot. I cannot wait to rewatch. And you see, now I am currently working on a lot of videos Arrowverse related, and I will rank my top 10 episode of Arrow with some honorable mention. And it will be really hard to have episode from all the 8 season because season 5 was great. Season 5 is the strongest season in my own opinion. So I hope guys enjoyed. What are your thoughts? Leave a comment in the description. Leave a comment in the comment section. And I hope guys will enjoy my future content. Like and subscribe. See you next time.